This is Varna Airport in Bulgaria. On a seemingly ordinary day, a young man will step into this terminal and vanish. In a flash of unimaginable terror, he will sprint from a crowded room and into the darkness, leaving behind his passport, his friends, and his entire life. The security cameras captured his final moments on Earth, but they left us with only one question. What was he running from? This is Shadow Docket. We investigate the chilling cold cases and unsolved mysteries that linger in the unseen corners of justice. To understand what happened to Lars Mittank, we must first go back. Before the terror, before the footage, we must go back to the beginning of his vacation. Lars Mittank was a 28-year-old man from Germany. By all accounts, he was just an ordinary guy. He worked at a power plant, loved spending time with friends, and was looking forward to a relaxing summer vacation. In the summer of 2014, Lars and a group of his friends headed to a popular beach resort in Varna, Bulgaria. It was meant to be a week of sun, sea, and a welcome break from their routine. Nothing seemed to be amiss in the early days, until the final few days of the trip, when a seemingly minor incident would set in motion a chain of events leading to his complete and utter disappearance. Days before their scheduled flight home, Lars and his friends got into a fight with some local men. It was a minor scuffle, but it left Lars with a ruptured eardrum. The doctor advised he couldn't fly. His friends had to make the difficult decision to fly home as planned, leaving Lars behind. Alone in a foreign country, nursing an injury, a seed of unease began to sprout in Lars's mind. The isolation seemed to amplify Lars's anxieties. He began making distressed phone calls back home to his mother, Sandra. His tone shifted from being concerned about his injury to genuine, palpable fear. "They are after me. The men from the fight. They have hired a hitman. I don't feel safe here." A hitman? It seemed like a drastic escalation from a simple street brawl. His paranoia extended beyond the phone calls. He visited a local pharmacy and was reportedly agitated and fearful. He purchased an antibiotic, cefuroxime, but his behavior suggested he was convinced he was in imminent danger. Was the ruptured eardrum a potential concussion or even a side effect from his medication triggering this state of psychosis? This is the central psychological puzzle at the heart of this mystery. July 8, 2014, the day Lars was scheduled to fly home. He arrived at Varna Airport, but his demeanor was far from that of a man ready for a comforting return. He appeared disoriented, constantly looking over his shoulder, his movements jerky. He had a brief consultation with an airport doctor. Whatever was said seemed to further agitate him. Moments later, the security footage shows Lars in a tense conversation with an airport worker. The worker later reported that Lars was speaking incoherently about being followed and not wanting to fly. And then, in a flash, everything changes. Without warning, Lars drops all his luggage. His passport, his wallet, everything is abandoned on the terminal floor. He begins to run, a full-on sprint through the crowded terminal, panic etched across his face. He reaches an exit, his destination unclear, driven by an unseen terror. He reaches the airport perimeter fence, and with a final, desperate leap, he clears it. That is the last confirmed sighting of Lars Mittank, running headlong into the unknown, leaving behind a life and stepping into a void. In the years since Lars vanished, numerous theories have emerged. The most immediate one is foul play. Was Lars genuinely being pursued? Could someone have threatened him or made him believe he was in imminent danger? While his paranoia was evident, could it have been rooted in a real threat that was simply overlooked? Another prominent theory centers on a medical or psychological break. Could the ruptured eardrum, a concussion from the fight, or the side effects of his antibiotic have triggered a state of psychosis? The rapid onset of his fear certainly suggests a sudden shift in his mental state. However, the crucial question remains: if he was just suffering a mental health crisis, why leave behind his identification, his money, the very things he would need to get help? That detail casts a long shadow over the medical theories. A massive search was conducted, but no trace of Lars Mittank has ever been found. His case has become a haunting enigma of the digital age, with every frame of that security footage analyzed and debated. Yet the answer remains elusive. The disappearance of Lars Mittank is a chilling reminder that even in our interconnected world, some shadows remain stubbornly impenetrable. Was he running from a real threat, or the demons within? The shadow docket on Lars Mittank remains open, a testament to the fragility of the human mind and the unsettling reality of a person simply vanishing.